here for a whole hour. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being with us for another Friday. And wherever you are around the world, we're all over. We come from three different sources. We come on Facebook to you, we come to YouTube, and also Instagram, where you may be watching as well. And all you have to do is just chime in. You don't need a card or any kind of union representative or anything like that. All you have to do is just come in and chime in and have a little talk with us, because we're open forum. And if you want to say something, we will be glad to have you along with us. And the conversation is for everybody. It's an open exchange. So please feel free. We want to thank you for this Friday morning. If you're coming in, please, even if you're idle, you want to stand by and watch the show and without saying anything, that's okay too, just as long as you're out there. And of course, we invite you to stay for the entire hour. But if you can't stay for the entire hour, whatever time you can spare with us, we really appreciate that. We've got things coming up later on in the program. We've got the 2020 feature, as we do every Friday. The first part of the 2020 feature with Brian Camp with the latest developments of today's world of sports on Sports Update. Brian won't be here today, so we're going to fill in the chore for him. 22 the hour, DJ Pete will be here with information on entertainment and reciting all of those birthdays of all of the people who are celebrating this week, all people of notoriety in the music world. And of course, we have our picks of the week for you guys who like classic movies. We have all of those for you. That's coming up. And of course, conversation, all of us together, just to get together. And we do this each week. So just in case you're just watching us on Facebook, please tag your friends right now. We're starting the show exactly right now. Tag them right now, bring them in, let them be part of us as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, of course, you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This way, you'll never miss a show. And every time we broadcast live or we post something, you will be notification. If you happen to see that signal, we're popping right up. Now, those of you who are watching us on Instagram as well, it's the same thing. All you have to do is follow us each week. So we want to say hi to each and every one of you. People are coming in right now. Just want to say hi to them. They're idle. A lot of them are idle. We really appreciate having you aboard with us. Boy, it's great to be here on this Friday. We've got snow here in New York City. Now, later on, if you decide to chime in, please let us know where you're calling from or chiming in from. And if you're outside in New York, give us a little weather forecast. However, it's not one of those things that's actually required to do, but we like to know what it's like in your neck of the woods so we could, have fun together and just talk about the weather together. But we have here in New York, we finally got our first snow. I think we got past the worst of it now, because the weekend is going to be better for us here in New York. There's snow on the ground right now. The people, sanitation department, they'll be shoveling that stuff up. It's not a lot of snow. It's not knee deep, but we got our first share of it. And boy, I tell everyone who likes the snow, you could always have my share of it. I'm just not a snow person. Anyway, we're here, and thank you so much for being along with us. Those of you who are watching us right now, maybe you've just got back from a trip. Maybe you're at work right now, Could be at work right now. So if you're at work and you're taking that coffee break, and a lot of companies, they give the coffee breaks out. You got the 15-minute coffee break. Take that 15 minutes of that coffee break and stay at your desk, at your computer, and watch us here. And when the coffee break is over, you can still enjoy your coffee and work and watch us at the same time. A lot of things I used to say, one of the things I say is multitasking. And so a lot of you are good at that. And that's it. All right. So please stay with us for the whole hour. We got a lot to talk about. And of course, whatever questions that you may have about the show or about why we're here or whatever it is, of course, we'll entertain your thoughts and ideas, and we'll have a good time with that. All of you, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful New Year holiday. This is our first show of the new year. Here we are, January 7th. And it's a great day. It's the 7th day into the new year, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are celebrating in your own little way. A lot of you probably have gone out, probably stayed home, maybe, and here in New York, we had the Times Square ball dropping, and they had people in Times Square celebrating entertainment and everything. And we watched that on TV, some of us, right? We watched that on TV, and it's all around the world. You can catch it up anywhere. With the technology today, you can catch local stuff anywhere around the world, all right? Anywhere around the world. If you're a local person, I can pick up where what's happening with you on your newscast and your entertainment channels and all of that. And technology is good that way. But here in New York, when we had the Times Square, that's one of the biggest celebrations we have each year in Times Square. And that was our first celebration, right, in 2 years. The first celebration, because last year there was none, of course, because of the variant, which, by the way, we're at this new variant, which we call the Omicron variant, which mingles with the Delta variant, and so many other things are happening right now. So now they're suggesting that everyone stay safe wherever you go. Some places are closed, some schools are closed, and other places like here in New York, they make sure the schools are open. So depending on where you are, they go by the situation there. But however, no matter how you cut it, the variant is on, and it's affecting a lot of people. It's affecting a lot of us. Do you know a lot of the pediatric hospitals are being filled up, which is a sad thing to know, because we don't want any of our children to be sick. We don't even want any adults to be sick. That's why we always urge you to take care of yourself, take precaution, and by golly, get vaccinated. Now, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, maybe this is a good time to do so. Those of you who are vaccinated, you already know all of the vaccines on the market, right? You have the Pfizer, you have the Moderna, and you have the J&J, which is Johnson and Johnson. Now, if you're taking the Pfizer or Moderna, it only requires 2 shots. After that second shot, that makes you fully vaccinated. Now, 6 months after those shots, you're going to want to get boosted. And a lot of people have gotten their booster shot. Some people haven't. Some people are waiting around for their turn to do it. And if you are taking the Johnson and Johnson, the J&J vaccine, right after you take that first shot, you want to get your booster 2 months after that. And so if you haven't done that yet, please do that. We want to make sure that everybody is safe. And there are places to go all over the place. It's a matter of going on your computer and finding out the nearest center nearest you where you can get vaccinated, or you can go to your favorite pharmacist, or maybe even your primary doctor may have a supply of vaccines, and he could administer those to you. Do whatever you can to get it. There are trucks that are parked outside of the street that give vaccinations out. Really, it's gotten that far, and a lot of people are going to do that, and a lot of people are being tested. They have a lot of places where you can get tested. They have a lot of centers. Sometimes the lines are so long, they're around the corner, which is why here in New York, and I'm pretty sure in your area, they have the same thing. They build these tents up on the sidewalk where people could wait in line to get vaccinated. It helps out a lot. It helps the traffic of all of the centers who have those lines around the corner. So we can do anything we can, but we want to make sure that you get vaccinated, and please do it as soon as possible. And those of you who are still on the fence and have been on the fence since last year and saying, well, I don't want to get vaccinated, I hope that this year, 2022, would be the year that you say, something, I am going to make this a great new year, and I think I'm going to just change my mind and get vaccinated. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's all good. It's 10 minutes past the hour right now, and just in case you're just watching us, it's the coffee hour. That's the name of the show right now. I want to say hello and good morning to all of you people out there. I see senior cigar man out there, Kevin Briscoe. I see. I look. They don't have the name. When you're watching us on YouTube and you're watching us on Facebook, the names pop up. The actual names pop up. But when you watch on Instagram, they only give the code names. I guess their names, and in this case it says Senior Cigar, so I know that name perfectly. That's Kevin Briscoe. Kevin and I worked together for so many years, and so many years ago at a station called WNYC in New York City. He's still there holding down the fort. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt if he doesn't even have stock in that place right now. But thank you so much, Kevin. I hope you had a happy new year. And he's still smoking his cigars. He's a cigar king. And I remember Kevin used to tell me he used to always go to those trips to Vegas, right? They used to have those cigar conventions in Las Vegas. And I don't know, when was the last time you've been to Vegas? Because it's been a while since I've been there. And obviously, I wouldn't go there now because of the pandemic. And a lot of people are still taking flights wherever you're going. They're canceling a lot of flights, by the way. I heard that on the news last night. They're still canceling flights. Flights are being delayed. People are stuck in airports, and it's just not a good time to travel. So if you don't have to travel, please don't travel at all. It's not a good time to do it. It's really not a good time to do it. I guess the most traveling you can do is if you go next door to a friend's house, right? Providing their safety and vaccinated or whatever. But taking these long trips, especially those long trips out of the country, you don't want to do that, right? It's not a good time to do that. So whatever trip that you had planned, please hold it off. And it just reminds me too that I see more and more of these commercials on TV promoting these cruise ship vacations. All right, they're still doing it, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but they're doing it, and I understand. Just follow last night. I was watching the news, and they had this one cruise ship that was totally packed. So I'm wondering whether or not a lot of these people are taking these cruise are really caring or really acknowledging the fact that this variant is still on. This Omicron variant is just taking over, and it's dangerous. And there were a couple of ships, in the past that they had to take the people off, dock them, and take them off because of the variant. People not being tested, people are not being vaccinated. And so, if you want to take a cruise, it doesn't hurt you to linger a while and take it easy. Now, those of you who are in the public's eye, such as teachers and doctors, of course, you want to be vaccinated, right? Because you're taking care of people. You're taking care of people like me and other people that come into your hospital. So you want to be vaccinated. You want to wear the mask. You want to have your hand sanitizer, and you just want to take precaution. And a lot of the teachers who weren't vaccinated, they lost their jobs because they refused to get vaccinated. So we don't want anyone to lose their job. I only wish that there was some kind of way where they can get vaccinated and retain their jobs once again, and that would be a good thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you will, please just be nice and be sweet, and help everyone out, help me out, help yourself, help your next door neighbor, help your children, your husbands, your wives, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, grandmothers and grandfathers, the whole 9 yards, by protecting them by being vaccinated, and make sure that they're vaccinated too. I want to send out information to you that you already know about. And I was reporting on the death of Betty White. Boy, I was rooting for Betty White. Betty White died this week. Comedian Betty White, who played on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She was married to Allan, by the way, who was the host of Password, that game show in the 60s. And she passed away at the age of 99 years old. I was really rooting for her because on the 17th of this month, January, 17th of January, she would have been 100 years old. And I was just rooting for her to make that magic number. However, she did live a good life, a long life, and she's been all over the place. Her career spanned it a long way. The Mary Tyler Moore Show, the Golden Girls. She was one of the original Golden Girls. Now, all of the Golden Girls are in the sky celebrating together, all four of them. They're all deceased, and they're all together. And I'm pretty sure they're having a lot of laughs up there, wherever they are. So Betty White, all of her friends, fans, relatives, people who work with her, people who loved her like myself, and even people who love animals, because she was a big animal advocate, So all of those people who love Betty White, we want to send our condolences out, especially to her family and all of her friends and colleagues as well. So thank you. I wonder how you spent your holiday weekend. A lot of people, they went out there and celebrated. They did a lot of things. And of course, you know, wherever you go, you're going to want to celebrate a big celebration like the New Year. New Year's Eve holiday. I watched it on TV. A New Year's Day holiday. And I thought it was the safe place to do it. You pop open the bubbly, you sit back, relax, and enjoy. And it was a good time to do that. And it was a good time to watch movies. As I said earlier, we're going to give you our takes and our picks of the week for this weekend, movies that I think you're going to enjoy. And that's all coming up right now. It's coming up to 16 minutes past the hour. And in about 4 minutes or so, we're going to have sports with Brian Camp. Brian Camp is not going to be with us today, so we're going to take over the chore and get it through. And then again, as I said before, DJ Pete will be around. DJ Pete will be here with, of course, entertainment news. And of course, he'll give us all of that and recite all of those birthdays of people of entertainment. So if you're just watching us for the very first time, don't make it your last time. Always come back again and again. We're always a pleasure to have you along with us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we come to you live each week at this time, direct from New York City, and we come through the facilities of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. So, I didn't raise my cup. I hope you have yours as well. What would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So here we go. Our first sip of the year, at least on the show anyway. Salute. Excuse me while I shoot up. It's always nice to have that first jolt of the day. And I hope that you have yours. And it's nice and hot, because if you're in a place like I am where it's really cold, and it's really cold out there. It really is. And we've got a lot of cold weather. And as a matter of fact, I am going to give you my weather forecast right now. I'm going to give you my weather forecast right now. And whatever your weather is, if you're going to chime in with us, give us your weather forecast wherever you are or wherever you may be. And this way we'll know what's happening. Right now, as I said, it's cold. We've got 29 degrees. 29 degrees here in New York City. And it's going to be cold for the remainder. But it looks like this right now. Here's today, Friday's weather. It's going to be partly cloudy and a few flurries or snow showers possible. We'll have a high 34 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, clear skies. We'll have a low 21 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Saturday, tomorrow, one of the better days out of the weekend. Right here, finally, Saturday looks good. Sunny skies, high near 30 degrees, and we'll have winds will be west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night will be mainly clear early, then a few clouds later on. We'll have a low 27 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend for Sunday and the following day, we have to go back to work because we're back to normal now, right? It's going to be cloudy in the morning and then off and on rain. Off and on rain showers during the afternoon. We'll have highs around 39 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 50%. But during the week, as I look around, I see it looks a little better during the week. It doesn't look wet. But we've gotten past the snow. I think we've gotten past the worst of it. We did get the snow. The snow is on the ground here in New York, and we did get the worst of it. The worst of it passed already. So therefore, happy New Year to you, Buddy Seaver out there. Looking well, thank you, Buddy. Buddy Seaver's another colleague of mine. We go back in time in radio. We worked at WEVD in New York City together, and did we have a ball there? We had a ball there, didn't we? And I think Buddy went on and worked at Bloomberg Radio, and I think now he's retired, which is not a bad thing, enjoying the fruits of the labor. That's what I like. That's what we're doing, right? Enjoying the fruits of the labor. So all of you out there, please, chime in. You want to say something? We don't mind. We would love to have you aboard with us to express your greetings. We want to wish you all a happy new year. if not individual. I would like to say Happy New Year to you individually. That's why I would like you to chime in. But if I can't do it, then I'll do it collectively, and that would be it. Okay, so we are going to move on. It's 20 minutes past the hour. You know, it's time for sports, right? Sports update with Brian Camp. Brian is not with us today, so he left us the information, the chores to do today, and we're going to get through with it as quick as possible. Looking at the NFL, fans deny being offered on-site medical evaluation by Washington football team after a rail collapsed at FedEx Field. And four of the individuals who fell as a result of the rail collapse on last Sunday all had suffered injuries, but they all were minor injuries, most of them anyway. And Andrew Collins says that he didn't ask anyone was hurt, or he sure as hell didn't ask anybody whether they need medical attention. And the only thing the staff said to the people within the area of the incident was, "Get the F off the field." Classy, isn't it? Right? That was very classy. Multiple videos show a group of about 8 fans falling approximately 6 feet to the ground. The Washington football team released a statement Sunday evening stating, "To our knowledge, everyone involved was offered on-site medical evaluation and left the stadium on their own." And speaking of Washington football, the Washington football team, speaking of that, they will be announcing and revealing their new name on February 2nd. That's 11 days before the Super Bowl. Team co-CEO Tanya Snyder confirmed that the 8 final candidates would be the Washington Armada, the Washington Presidents, the Washington Brigade, the Washington Red Hogs, the Washington Commanders, the Washington Red Wolves, and the Washington Defenders, and of course, the Washington football team. Now, Washington has found or had gone with the football team for the past 2 seasons after announcing on July 13th, 2020, that it would drop the mascot name that they had used when the team started in 1932. For the second time this season, Dallas Cowboy linebacker Kanu Neal, who is unvaccinated, has been placed on the severe COVID-19 list, and he has missed the September 22nd, 27th, and October 3rd meeting against the Philadelphia Eagles and Carolina Panthers, and the only started testing daily after this week had come around. And now, once a player is tested positive, he is not required to get tested for 90 days. In the NFL, once again, and not surprisingly, in the midst of a rise of a COVID-19 case, has looked onto other potential sites for next month's Super Bowl. But the site for this year's game title and restrictions increasing for attendance and outdoor events has become more noteworthy, and the Super Bowl 56 is scheduled to be played at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles for Sunday, February 13th. NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy says the NFL planning to process that all regular seasons and postseason games to be inquired about stadium availability around the NFL due to weather-related issues, unseen circumstances. AT&T Stadium at Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, is reportedly one of the facilities that was contacted. Early Wednesday, the Grammy Awards, I should say, were postponed indefinitely, and they are scheduled to CRPTO.com. That's where they're scheduled, the CRPTO.com arena. That was formerly known as the Staples Center in Los Angeles. January 31st, organizers cited health and safety concerns, which makes a lot of sense, right? NCAA college football, Georgia versus Alabama national championship game on Monday. That's January 10th, and that's at 8 p.m. on ESPN. Check your local time for the game nearest you in your local city, okay? Okay, this day in sports, January 7th, 1927, the Harlem Globetrotters played their first game in Hinckley, Illinois. In 1961, the first NFL playoff Super Bowl was played in Detroit. Detroit beats Cleveland 17 to 16. 1972, the LA Lakers defeated the Atlanta Hawks by 134 to 90 for their 33rd straight win. And that's the longest winning streak in major professional sports. In 1980, Minnesota North Stars defeated Philadelphia Flyers. That's the hockey league. 35 games, unbeaten winning streak, and it ends. In 1987, Lou Brock and Hoyt Wilhelm are elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. In 1992, Tom Seaver and Raleigh Fingers were elected to Baseball Hall of Fame. And finally, Phil Jackson wins his 900th game as head coach, becoming the fastest to reach 900 career wins. And that's it in sports. And that's our first part of the 2020 feature. Brian Camp sent that to us. Thank you, Brian. And we hope that you get back soon. He's taking the day off. And coming up 22 the hour, DJ Pete will be along with us. And DJ Pete will finally give us all of that information on entertainment and, of course, all the entertainment in the world of sports. Well, in the world of entertainment, I should say, whether you're a singer or actor or whatever it is, he's going to be along with us. And, of course, reciting all of those birthdays all around the world to people who are interested in entertainment. I know I am, of course, I think that's part of what I do here, the entertainment field, because as a disc jockey, as a radio disc jockey and a talk show host or whatever, you get involved in entertainment. A lot of people always ask, do you know these people that you talk to? Not necessarily. Entertainment, a lot of people got to understand something. In the entertainment field, people know of each other. A lot of people, if they don't know each other, they know of each other. And do you realize that a lot of these people that you watch on TV, right, the actors, right, what they do is that let's see. Oh, wait, DJ P. Oh, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, DJ P. I was just talking about him. He's checking in right there on Instagram right there. And he wants to wish a Happy New Year to everyone that's watching. And DJ Pete is going to do that himself when he comes on in just a few minutes. And so let me see. Did he chime in? Did he chime in the other sources? Let me see where else he chimed in. Let's see what he has here. Okay, I'm looking at Facebook. I'm monitoring Facebook. Yeah, he did chime in on Facebook. So there he is. And let's see. Yes, he did chime in on YouTube as well. He covers all the bases. Also want to say a Happy New Year to Naoto from Kobe, Japan out there. Happy New Year to you and a good evening as well. You sent the greetings and he sent the weather forecast right there as well. Thank you so much for that, Naoto. The weather forecast in Kobe, Japan, we have clear skies tonight, 36 degrees, and it's 4.5 miles per hour wind. North winds out in Kobe, Japan. So thank you, Naoto, for that. And how's everything? And Happy New Year once again. How's things out in Japan otherwise? I hope everything is well. I hope the weather is not biting cold, because it's getting here biting cold in New York City, but we're dealing with it. And I'm not going to even ask about the weather in Maine. Even DJ Pete is going to talk about that. I just going to imagine. I mean, even the name Portland, Maine sounds cold. The name Portland, Maine. We'll find out more about that. Okay, and just in case you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and of course, I'm your host, Frank Allan. And I will be with you for the next half hour. We're 30 minutes into the show right now. And those of you who have friends on Facebook, please tag them right now. Bring them in and watch. Let them watch for the next half hour as we do our silliness here. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we invite you to also join us by subscribing to my YouTube channel. You can do that. And once you subscribe to that, you will never miss a show, because every time we come on the air live or we post a video, of course, you're going to be notified, so you'll never miss a show. And the same thing goes for you guys watching us on Instagram as well. We wanted to say hi to you. And all of you guys who are idle and don't want to say anything, that's okay too. We love you just the same. But I would like to say Happy New Year to each of you personally. But if I can't, then I'll just say it collectively. I also want to say happy birthday to Stephen LeBeau, another friend. See, I have all of these radio people who come in, and I used to work with Stephen LeBeau. I'm naming all of these radio stations. I've been around. I worked at Stephen LeBeau at a station called WNWK FM, 94, 90, I think it was 95, 91.5 FM. And was it 91.5 FM? I said it's 105.1 FM. That's what it was. 105.1 FM. And then the other, that 91 was another station I worked at. But station 105.9 FM. That's it. I was there as a staff announcer and an engineer. And Stephen, we had a great time, didn't we? We had a great time. And DJ Pete, by the way, left me a weather forecast. Let's see. Weather looks like in Portland, Maine. Cloudy, snow. Didn't I tell you? Cloudy with snow. And it's up to 12 inches. 12 inches of snow. And let's see. He's going to have high temperatures, 28 degrees. That's the highest he gets. We're 29 here in New York right now. High 28 degrees, and overnight lows temperatures will be 26 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at 17 miles per hour. So I shouldn't complain at all. You have 12 inches of snow on the ground. And before I went on the air last night on Talkback Live, I spoke to you on the telephone. DJ Pete gave me the call. I'm going to ask you, is it that real heavy wet snow? So when you use a snow blower, when you use a snow blower, right, you want to get that soft snow, it'll blow it right out of the water. But if it's real wet, but he'll tell us more about that anyway. He'll tell us about the chores that he's going to endure over the weekend. We'll talk more about that. So thank you guys for chiming in. And as I was talking about entertainment earlier, I said this, and I want to go back to it. A lot of people in entertainment, and Steve and Kevin, you guys in radio, you could attest to this. DJ Pete, you could attest to this. That a lot of people, like just regular people, always pose the question: do you know this person, or do you know that person in radio, or do you know this person in TV, or do you know that person in the arts of acting and on-stage performances? Do you know that? Some people we do, and some people we don't. Do you realize a lot of actors that you watch on TV, you would think that they would know everybody? Some of them never even met. And it's the same thing in radio. I've never met, there are some people in radio I have never met in my life. We might have passed each other at one particular point. You met them at a party and you just two ships in a night. But some people I've never met at all. I know some actors that I interact with them. Some I know, and some I don't know. But some I know of them, and the same actor will know of me. We know of each other, but not each other, and never even met. So that's how the business runs sometimes. You know, we're active in our field, but we're like two ships in a night because everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. And it's just, fortunately for me, I just happen to know the guys that are with me today, Steve LeBeau and DJ Pete and Kevin Briscoe and all of those people in radio. I know them personally, so I could say, yes, I do know them. We're not two ships in a night. They're with me like most of the times during the week. They come on this show, or we have each other's telephone number and we call each other and just shoot the breeze and whatnot, you know, that kind of relationship. But that not with everybody. not with everybody. And there are some people that I've never met that I really would like to meet. And then people would ask me, okay, you do some of these talk shows, like I have that show, by the way, this year, I'm gonna elevate that show called Blue Cafe, which, by the way, if you look up in the area, if you're watching us on Facebook, you'll see in that area, uh, you have all that information, all of my information there. Well, you see down at the very bottom, it says a Blue Cafe. You just link onto that and you see some of the interviews that I've done. Now, some of these people that I interview, I do know personally, and some I don't. And some we've met for the first time and talked for the first time. So, and then later on, I get to know them. For instance, Bobby Rydell, we don't know each other. But what I do is, like, I stay in touch with them. We bounce around emails. Bobby Wilson, we don't know each other, but, send them information or send him a greeting every now and then. We do that. And that's the way it goes. But we do understand each other, even though we don't know each other. It's crazy. It's a crazy industry, but it's a fun industry. And the good thing about this industry is that you get to meet the people. And then you could say, hey, you know something? We never met before, or we know of each other. I'm Frank Allan, you're so-and-so, and then we finally meet. And and it's fun that way when you don't know a person and you finally meet them, because now you have a lot to talk about. If you're at a cocktail party or whatever it is, then now you have a lot to talk about. But it's a fun thing to do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, instead of babbling on, I want to babble with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us right now, please, 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 please get in touch with us. And you can get in touch with me personally, too, by the way. But before I talk about that, I want to say DJ Pete gave me a weather forecast in Nashville, Tennessee, which originally he was supposed to be. And he sees that it's sunny skies out there, highs 23 degrees and low winds at 16. And Nashville had snow yesterday, right? So, either way, you couldn't escape the snow anyway. You got snow in Portland, Maine. If you had gone to Tennessee, you would have been in the snow anyway, right? So there's no escaping it, all right? If you decide you want to visit New York and take some of the snow that we have here, you're free to do so. Take my share, take all of it, I'm not a snow person. Maybe as a kid, maybe when I was a little boy, I used to go out and play and have the snowball fights and the whole 9 yards, but never today. Never today. You could have my share of it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're just watching us, it's the coffee hour, and we're coming to you live from New York City. Now, what I was getting ready to say, if you'd like to get in touch with me, it's simple. All you have to do is use the information up there. Again, go up there. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can watch us there. You can see up there. It's up here or over here, depending on how you're watching it. The information is right there. If you're watching us on YouTube, the information is in the chat section, right at the top. It's always at the top. That information right there. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, I am going to orally give you that information because we don't have it posted there. So if you want to get in touch with me, I have two sources. You could either call me or email me. I'll give you the email address first. It's Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D, that stands for production. That's short for production. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Now, Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. You got that? A-L-L-A-N. Don't mistake it. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you could call me. I do have a number too. You can call me, contact me. And that number is, let's see. That number is, let's see what we have here. 641-715-3900. Again, that's 641-715-3900. And the extension is 467-134. I had to look at it. Forgot it momentarily. Sometimes you have all of these numbers in your head. You can't remember them all. But again, that's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. So what do you say right now? We go to DJ Pete from cold Portland, Maine, and he's out there with the information that he have in entertainment. DJ Pete, how goes it?
Good morning, Frank, Brian, Naoto, everybody watching and listening today. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. snowing here, and I was supposed to go to Nashville, but we decided to change our plans, not because of the snow, but because of the COVID situation right now. And one of the biggest things we were worried about was getting stuck down there if they cancel the flight. So we're home safe, and I'm going to be going out and running my snowblower soon here. So here's what I got for this week. Let's see. Let me find my notes here. Born January 2nd, 1930. Julius LaRosa, American pop music singer.
Great guy.
Both radio and television in the early 1950s. Made appearances on a lot of TV shows, The Honeymooners, What's My Line, Merv Griffin Show, Laverne and Shirley. Let's see. He was a singer-actor that also became a successful disc jockey.
That's right.
In one of, let's see.
In New York, WNEW.
WNEW in New York City.
That's right. I used to listen to his show all the time.
Yeah, Julius LaRosa. Let's see. Born this week, January 3rd, 1909. Victor Borg. He was born as Burge Rosenbaum, a Danish-American comedian, conductor, and pianist. He was kind of like the band leader version of Weird Al Yankovic on stage, or very, very comedic way, and he would actually conduct an orchestra. What he did, really funny stuff he did there. Let's see, born this week, January 3rd, 1916, Maxine Andrews of the Andrews Sisters. Some of their famous tunes, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, Bar Mia Bitch Duchesne, Beat Me Daddy, H to the Bar, many, many more tunes from the Andrews Sisters. Let's see. Born this week, January 9th, 1911, Uli Gaylord, also known as Slim Gaylord, also known as McVouty or McVooty, American jazz singer and songwriter who played piano, guitar, vibraphone, tenor sax. One of his famous tunes was in the 1930s was Flatfoot Flugie. He did solo stuff, and he also worked with Leroy Elliott Stewart, also known as Slam. So they had a duo called Slim and Slam during World War II. Slim Gaylord came up with his own type of language, and you can hear him talking about it, he would say Frankie Allan O'Ruti or something like that. He would say he would add all these different parts of words to other words and make it pretty funny back then. Let's see. Born also this week, January 5th, 1923. He wasn't a musician, but he was an American record producer, founder of Sun Records studio in Memphis, Tennessee, Sam Cornelius Phillips. He produced many records by Elvis Presley, Billy Lee Riley, Roy Orbison, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, Howlin' Wolf, many more people. Let's see, born this week, January 6, 1951, and he's still around today. I'm sure he's still playing, too. Kim Wilson. He was best known for his lead vocalist with the band The Fabulous Thunderbirds, and I saw that band back in the 1980s here in Portland. Tough Enough was one of their famous tunes. Jimmy, wait a second here. Jimmy Vaughn, brother of Stevie Ray Vaughan, was in the Fabulous Thunderbirds band at one time. Let's see, who else do we have here? Born January 6, 1924, Earl Eugene Scruggs, American musician noted for popularizing a three-finger banjo picking style, which they called Scruggs style. It was a type of bluegrass music that he played a lot. He partnered in 1958 with Lester Flatt, and they were called Flatt and Scruggs and the Foggy Mountain Boys. A lot of great bluegrass music from those guys. Let's see. Born January 8th, 1893, Maximus C. Friedman, also known as Max Friedman, American songwriter, lyricist, remembered for his co-writing the song Rock Around the Clock, which was done by Bill Haley in the Comets. And finally, born the same day, January 8th, but in 1935, Elvis Aaron Presley, American singer, actor, dubbed the King of Rock and Roll, regarded one of the most significant cultural icons of the 20th century. Born in Tupelo, Mississippi, and relocated to Memphis. He was supposed to play Portland, Maine, and he passed away the day before the concert here. I remember hearing about it when I was probably 13 years old. Mm-hmm. And an interesting story: a local radio station somehow got a hold of the linens of the hotel room that he was supposed to stay in. I'm sure someone just went in and stole the stuff, but I don't know. But who knows what really happened? But they somehow got a hold of the linens that he was supposed to use in his hotel room here in Portland, and they started auctioning them off. I don't know where the money went to, probably to the station themselves, but who knows? Yeah, King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley, and that's what I got for this week, Frank.
Why would they auction off Lennon that he never even used?
I don't know. I don't know, Frank. And, and to be honest, people buy and collect the weirdest things. So, okay.
And they'll pay out all of that money just to say, oh, I have this Lennon that Elvis Presley didn't use, but he was going to use.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I could see if he, let's say, used it. And of course, now it would be great if he used it and they didn't clean it and now they have the Lennon plus his sweat.
Yeah. I mean, who would really want someone's sweat? Especially today with the
yeah, exactly.
Things like that. I mean,
but listen, it's the almighty dollar. They want people like these things. They like collecting things like that. They don't care even if it's detrimental to their health. They'll just they don't care.
I know. They collect it and they sell it off to other people.
Yeah, when Elvis Presley was big back in the 50s, actually he started like 1956. That's when he started really coming out, and he was such a craze. He was such a craze that they had. Remember the old baseball cards you used to buy with the bubble gum inside, the flat bubble gum inside?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they used to sell those cards, Elvis Presley cards with the bubble gum. Yeah. He was such a big thing back then, But he was something else.
Personally, I think Sam Phillips should have kept Elvis at Sun Records, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
He should have instead of selling him to the Colonel. But anyway,
the Colonel.
It's history, and
the Colonel.
My opinion.
The Colonel was a shyster.
What?
The Colonel. He was the shyster. He was.
I think a lot of.
Yeah, you heard that story. There's a big story behind that, but that's another. That's another show. Okay, here's what I have today. Birthdays: Nicolas Cage, actor Nicolas Cage is 58 today. Journalist Katie Couric is 64. She was on NBC TV. I think she did the morning show with Matt Lauer, I believe. Yeah, back then. She's 65 today. Actor David Caruso is 66. Actress Erin Gray is 72. Kenny Loggins, remember him? Kenny Loggins from Loggins and Messina, 74 today. Actress Terry Moore. You remember Mighty Joe Young? The girl that, you remember that movie, Mighty Joe Young?
No.
Okay. For those of you who remember Mighty Joe Young, Terry Moore played the girl that was the master of the gorilla. That was Terry Moore. She's 93 today. God, and she still looks great, 93. And the late actor Vincent Gardenia, who played in that movie, he played in a lot of movies, but he also played parts in All in the Family as Frank Lorenzo, and then he played in Death Wish. He would have been 102 years old today. And last but not least, actress Butterfly McQueen. Way back there, she was in that movie Gone with the Wind. She was the African American woman with that high squeaky voice. She would have been 111 years old today. And I met and got to know Butterfly McQueen before she died, because she was taking classes even at her age at City College in New York. And I was working there as a disc jockey at their radio station. And I got to meet her in the hallway, and we talked a little bit, and I got to know her before she died. Butterfly McQueen, a legend, a legend. Those are the birthdays of today. So there you go. And Happy New Year once again to you, DJ Pete. I hope it's a great year for all of us. We're in our careers and whatever.
And let's hope things go better. I'm looking forward to 2022.
Yes.
And more of our coffee hours here.
Absolutely. And also, I'm looking for the endemic, not the pandemic.
Endemic, yes.
That's what I'm looking forward to. And
to be honest, Frank, it's a pain, not just health-wise, but with everything else.
Emotionally too.
Emotionally, there's a labor shortage in a lot of industries right now.
That's right.
There's a lot of people taking advantage of this. They shouldn't be.
Yeah, absolutely. Capitalizing.
And it's just a big. It's getting to be a pain again.
Yeah.
If you look in Australia, I mean, they don't have high numbers of COVID cases, but they're almost like a police state right now because of COVID. And there's been a lot of riots about that. I understand having a lockdown and stuff, but they've taken it a little too extreme down there.
Yeah.
And people posting things online are getting arrested for that.
Yeah.
That's just too much.
Yeah. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. That's the best we can do. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, but that's all I have for this week. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone, to Brian and to Nato and everybody watching today.
And you too.
Okay.
Take care. See you next week.
All right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was DJ Pete. Of course, he did his part of his portion of the 2020 feature, and he gave us all of the entertainment news and people of notoriety reciting all of their birthdays. And we thank you for that. We'll see you back here next week as well. And we just have a lot of fun. And so those of you who are watching, if you want to chime in and say hello, I would like to wish you a happy new year, if not personally, then collectively. A lot of people, they just like to watch the show without chiming in, but that's okay. All right, what I'm going to do now, we got a little time left, so I am going to give you the information on all of the movies that you like, Turn to Classic Movies. But before I do that, I want to tell you that DJ Pete has a radio show. And you can catch him on www.radio-airwave.co.uk on Mondays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And you can also catch him on WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. If you can't catch the radio station itself, go to the website, www.wmpg.org, and that's every other Tuesday between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. and all times are Eastern in the United States and Canada. So what do you say we get to these movies coming up this weekend? All right, starting with The Strawberry Blonde back in 1941 with James Cagney and Olivia de Havilland and Rita Hayworth too. She's in that too, Rita Hayworth. one of my favorites. And that's coming on Turner Classic Movie on Saturday, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern, and that's early in the morning. So if you're not up that early in the morning, you might want to DVR it and watch it at a later time. That's called The Strawberry Blonde. It's a nice comedy. I love it. James Cagney, Olivia de Havilland, and Rita Hayworth. Again, that's Turner Classic Movies. That's tomorrow, Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Some Came Running with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin back in 1958. That's on Turner Classic Movies this Sunday at 12:15 p.m. That's a great movie too. I enjoy that. I have some of these movies in my archives, I should say archives. I watch them sometimes just for the heck of it. And of course, there's Mildred Pierce, 1945 with Joan Crawford. That's a great movie. I love that. I have one of them. I have that in my archive too. Archives. And that comes on Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 2:45 p.m. Eastern. Now, these are my picks of the week. And if you want more, and they may be more, and I'm pretty sure they're more, go on to Turner Classic Movies, right? Turner Classic Movies and go through the scheduling, right? And you can see all of the great movies, the lineup of the whole week of the day. There's more, and you might see something that you like this weekend and enjoy it too, as well as the ones I just gave you here. Now, the ones I just gave you here, they're not going to overlap each other. You can watch them. They won't overlap, so you can watch each and every one of them. And by the way, if you have cable and you'd like to subscribe to cable, or you have cable, whatever, you can always go on demand. Movie on demand, you have a chock full of great movies that go back to the 30s and 40s and sometimes the 50s, 60s. And all of those great movies is a big lineup of great movies that you forgot about, and then they brought back your memory on them. You can watch those as well. And also, you can go on demand on the networks. And all of the networks, if you're a sports person and you missed your favorite sport, or if you missed your favorite wrestling match, like I try not to miss, I can always go back the following day when it's up there on demand, and you can check it out. All of the networks, Lifetime, and you have CBS, NBC, all of the networks, all of the movie networks are right there, and you can go right through it. It's a great way to spend the weekend if you're not going out, particularly if you're living in Maine and New York City, where there's a lot of snow on the ground and you want to stay home all weekend and just, have a little schnapps or something like that, or a couple of beers. Sit back and watch these great movies, and they're there. So let me repeat these movies again. That's a Strawberry Blonde in 1941, Strawberry Blonde with James Cagney, Olivia de Havilland, and Rita Hayworth. That's on Turner Classic Movie on Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Some Came Running with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. That's on Turner Classic Movie Sunday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. And Mildred Pierce with Joan Crawford, Sunday, 2:45 p.m. Eastern, all on Turner Classic Movies. And I hope you do enjoy. And again, I just want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, please, whatever you do, get vaccinated. DJ Pete and I were just talking about it. It's nerve-wracking, and this pandemic, the Omicron variant, it's disturbing. It's hurting a lot of people. A lot of people are winding up in the hospital, and it's affecting everyone, whichever way, emotionally, physically, and people are climbing the walls at home because they can't get outside. Older people, they're shut in. So please get vaccinated, protect everyone. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for being along with us. We will be back here next Thursday for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports and sports update. And of course, you and I were great conversation, and it's always a delight to have you. That's next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. Other than that, I will be back here next week for more coffee hour and more conversation and a lot of fun. Brian Camp and DJ Pete will be here for the 2020 feature. Brian with sports, DJ with entertainment of the arts, people in the arts, whether it's on the screen or on the record. They're all right here. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful day, a great weekend, and I'll see you back here next week, right here on the Coffee Hour. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.